Hey, good morning, everyone. Kay here on my homestead. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to give you a little update. If you're new to my channel, I live on a little over 9 acres in Middle Tennessee after having lived in Los Angeles for 32 years. But now I'm coming up on my 3rd anniversary here. It's pretty amazing. And coming from our entire property in California was just slightly larger than my lower garden down there. So, when I was always involved in art, and when an artist has a big canvas, it's like, where do you begin? Oh, I'll put something here, I'll put something there, I'll put something here. When you have a small canvas, you put everything tight together. So here everything's spread out and big, and it's been a really interesting experience. And I hope, if you're new, you'll subscribe to my channel, follow my journey here, where I share the struggles and the challenges, the struggles and the challenges, and the successes, and the high points and the low points of trying to build a sustainable homestead at an older age. It doesn't matter what age you are, you're going to have challenges and successes. So I hope you find my channel interesting. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, scroll down and click all so you won't miss an episode. Well, I wanted to just bring you up to date on Linden. If you're new to my channel, you've probably never even heard of Linden. Linden is my senior cat. She is 18 and a half years old. And I think she was born around April in 2005. And so I believe that's 18, right? Yeah. So Linden, as a senior cat, has been steadily going downhill. I thought I was going to lose her, actually. I think it was 2019 or 2020. It was either the year I moved. Yeah, it was the year I moved. Oh, it was so hard on her. Oh my goodness, because I left her, for 2 or 3 weeks at a time when I would come over here, stay in a hotel and look for a place to buy. And that was very, very hard on her. And at one point she was diagnosed with when I was traveling, I had to take her to a vet because I thought she was going to die. And she said, well, she said she had diabetes and that she needed to start her on a whole course of drugs. And I'm going, oh, well, let me think about that, And then I went to my vet when I got back here, and they said, no, she doesn't have diabetes. So who knows? I mean, all I know is now she's, it's a very similar scenario with my mother. It's when you just get old, you lose mobility, your eyesight goes, your hearing goes, and, eventually your organs shut down. But that hasn't happened with her. Linden is still drinking a lot of water, eating regular meals, looking forward to her meal. It's coming out the other end. No problem. Because she's down on the floor, she can't jump up anymore. I didn't really notice. I didn't see this until last night because and the only reason I noticed is because she didn't eat her dinner. I said, well, what's going on with you? And so I got down on the floor and I looked at her, and you can see that her face is all, what's this side? Swollen, and the eye is pushed up, and so I've just come from the vet. I predicted rightly that she has an abscess. She has an infection from probably an abscessed root back here. When, you may not know this, but when cats get older, these teeth in here between the eye tooth and the back molar, they just dissolve. So there's nothing there. That happened a while ago. So the vet and I are assuming it's that back molar the root has gotten infected and it has to come out. I always told myself that, look, she's had a great life. It's just me and her all these years, and I mean, she only liked me. She didn't like anybody else. That's why I say that. I always said that if it's obvious that she's suffering, I'll put her down. I'm not going to be one of these people that just say, extend her life at any cost, Or, hey, clone her. She's the perfect animal. Let's clone her. Oh, come on. I'm sorry. No. And so I will do the best that I can do with, whatever's going on. But this is an obvious one-off problem that can be resolved with antibiotics and probably taking this thing out. So I'm just going to try to do that. There's some requirements for surgery, it looks like, that might be a problem, but we'll see. And that's scheduled for Friday. Today's Wednesday, and it's a cloudy day. The world feels cloudy with what's going on in Israel and Gaza. And there's so much division in our world. It's just incredible. But this is this conflict seems biblical, and I'm sure if you're familiar with the Bible, you agree. We'll see what happens, but I don't see how we cannot get involved in some way. Our country, I mean. And I heard, do your own research, everybody. I always say, do your own research. Draw your own conclusions. But I just heard that Exxon dropped 60 billion USD on an oil field. Well, that sounds like a good investment. But it's also another good way to get rid of your US dollars when the value is going down. So take that for what you may. But I don't see how there's ever going to be peace between these two factions. But I just pray that there's not too much loss of life, and the Christians that are, I'm sure that Israel is on the bucket list. A visit to Israel, to the Holy Land, is on the bucket list of many Christians. I can't say I ever planned or thought about going, just because I don't like traveling that much. But right now there's a group of Christians that are over there trying to get home, and when I read the article, it was a New York Post article. Evidently, it was just shared with me. Somebody shared it with me, and I read the whole article carefully, and nowhere in the article did they use the word Christian. And I thought, well, obviously, if they're doing baptisms and they're a Bible group, and but anyway, it's just interesting how, the media is like canceling that word, or that's what it seems like to me. I may be reading too much into it. But anyway. Big subject. So in terms of my cat, she's resting. She got an antibiotic shot and a pain, just drops for pain behind her neck. Let me give you a look at her. Linden. She's sleeping. There you go. See? Yeah, you got a big thing going on there. Good girl. Well, I've got cats all around, and they were walking on the car, and it's pretty crazy. She's just, that's Tiger. I hope you can see her. BJ. What else is going on? Had a great visit with my new friend Amanda, who was here for one night, Saturday night. So I didn't see my mother on Sunday, so I need to get back over there. But Amanda and I went thrifting. Well, we didn't plan to go. I was going over to get a prescription for doxycycline. I thought, as long as I'm going to see the guy about my knee, I said, can you write me a prescription? He goes, sure, what for? I said, doxycycline, no problem. So I thought, okay, good. It's always good to have that prescription in your preps, because that's what they give you if you have a a tick bite, to hopefully ward off Lyme's disease. Now, I don't know if it works for this alpha-gal thing. That's a whole new thing, this allergy to meat that you get from the tick. I don't know if you've heard about that, the Texas Lone Star tick. You get something called alpha-gal, and my new friend that I met last year, he moved away just a few months after we met. He had that, so he would go into anaphylactic shock if he ate anything with meat in it, with red meat in it. And I don't know if that included chicken. I know he could eat fish, but I can't even go down that rabbit hole. But anyway, was going to go over with Amanda. We had 2 great meals. We went over to get the prescription, and I took a wrong turn and went down this road, and we saw this farm stand, which also had antiques in the barn. And I said, oh, heck, let's just go. You know, it's a beautiful day. I have a guest. Let's just go. And so we bought some good things. I got an Afghan that's all wool. I'm sure it's all wool. It feels like it. And it's orange and brown, so it's probably made in the 70s. And I got that for $20. And I thought that's going to be so good, you know, if the power goes out or just on a cold night, just putting that over my lap. And then I bought a table that they wanted $45 for it. I wanted to pay $25, so we settled on $35. But it's just like a table that I had in LA that was a family thing that got left in California. And it's painted like a kind of a beigey tan color wicker, but it's perfect to go in between my 2 rocking chairs so I can have a meal on the front porch, which is possible now that the mosquitoes are down. As soon as I got this new set over here, you saw pictures on my community page, I bought a mosquito zapper, a solar-powered mosquito zapper. But I haven't even used it yet because it turned chilly, it turned cool. So anyway, Amanda and I got to have a great brunch out here before she left on Sunday, and we got some other things. I got a cookbook. It was crazy to buy this cookbook. It was for $8 in perfect condition. But it was obviously like from the 80s when women entertained. I remember my mother did. My mother had all kinds of parties, you know, non-alcoholic parties, but yeah, punch only. Punch and iced tea. But anyway, here she comes. Hi. She's going, why are you still in the car? Why haven't you gotten out? And so, that was BJ. And so, all the meals in this book are planned for 8 servings. I'm going, oh man, that's probably never going to happen. But, you know, maybe I'll find some good recipes in there. One of these days I'm going to hopefully get all of I've got beans, all kinds of beans drying everywhere, and they're not all picked yet. I've still got beans growing. The red calico limas are still going strong. And so this cool weather, they just kind of had a boost. So I watered them good yesterday, and I'm hoping that the first freeze holds off at least 2 weeks to kind of get the rest of the garden cleared out. If you're new to my channel, I hope you subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And I'll be sure and leave you an update about Linden because she wants to do this procedure / surgery on Friday. Thank you so much. God bless you. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Last October, when this aster was blooming, it was the only thing blooming. It was the only plant on the entire flower garden. What a contrast to this year, where I still have lots and lots and lots of blooms. And the roselle. I guess after the first freeze, it'll be a very different picture. I mean, look at this. October the 9th. I'm coming in the morning and I am cutting flowers for my new vase.